This lesson is all about absolute value. Absolute value is simply how far away from zero is a specific number. So it's the distance between the number and zero. These lines right here are simply a mathematical way of saying absolute value. So just like when you see this, your brain says plus. Just like when you see this, you think subtract. Whenever you see, this, to divide. These parallel vertical lines on either side of an integer just simply mean what is the absolute value of that number. It's just a symbol that means that. So when you see these lines on either side of the number, you are to find how far away from zero that number is. The absolute value of -5. Here's -5 on the number line. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away from zero. So actually the absolute value of -5 would be 5. The absolute value of 5 is also 5. The absolute value of 4 is 4. The absolute value of -16 is 16. It's 16 units away from zero. Taking a look at this problem, we have the absolute value of -4, which is 4, the absolute value of -5, which is 5, and we're asked to add those two numbers together. So the answer to that problem is 9. Taking a look at this one, notice that here each integer is inside of absolute value symbols. So that means find the absolute value of this and add them together. Over here, we just have one set on the outside. And in this case, they kind of serve as like your parentheses. When you think in terms of order of operations, you've probably heard, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, where the P stands for parentheses and we do what's inside of parentheses first. Well, that really includes any symbol of inclusion, including absolute value. So we do what's inside of the absolute value symbol, -4 minus 5. If you are down $4, meaning you owe your brother $4, and then you're down 5 more. So you have loaned him 4, and then you borrow 5 more. -4 minus 5, you're down $9. So this is a -9 right here. So we're asking, what is the absolute value of -9 is what's being asked. And the answer there is 9. Here, 4 and 5, well, 4 plus 5 is 9. The absolute value of each of those is just the same number. This doesn't mean you find the opposite of this, like turn it into -4. That's not what it means. It means how far away from zero is this number? 4 is 4 units away from zero. -4 is 4 units away from zero. So it doesn't just mean you find the opposite of it, because if it's a positive, the answer, the absolute value of that is still positive. Right here, the absolute value of -4 is 4. The absolute value of -1 is 1. So your answer would be 5. For this one, take a look at this. The absolute value of -12 is 12, but you have a negative symbol out here. So the answer is -12. For this part, if I cover that up, the absolute value of -12 is 12, but the answer overall is a negative because of that right there that kind of follows it or stays with it. Same thing here. The absolute value of 12 is 12, but there's a negative symbol way out here that goes with it. So when you find the value of this expression, it would also be this.